Hey guys, and welcome to your daily mobility flow. I hope your week is going wonderfully, and I hope you're ready to start stretching, because that's what we're going to do. In case you haven't figured it out from the flow of these mobilities, that's what we do here. We stretch. So we're going to go big lunge. We're going to sink that hip in. We're going to reach the same side, so my right leg is back on my right hand. I'm going to reach over, and then I'm going to come back. Roll my back leg in, sink my hips forward, just like this. Here, reach over, roll it in. I've done a lot over the last 60 mobility flows to try to prevent this whole shadowy wall effect. Mostly it's just too bright a light. Like this light needs to be more diffused, but I don't have a bunch of fancy photography lights, and sometimes it gets really exhausting just setting up the room and trying to keep like some semblance of an office. Keep switching back and forth without, my office turning into a really ugly room that's also a studio. And since I'm not allowed to leave my house hardly, trying to have some, measure of peace here in this home. So it gets kind of old setting up sheets in like 8 layers and then retesting and testing again and checking and then making sure the blinds are all good. So today we just set the light up. I had a professor in college. All right, switch sides. So we got that big lunge, hips in, reach over, going for this all here, then change the hand, roll that back leg in, drop those hips in for that groin, and then we'll switch. I had a professor in college. I took this public speaking class. Part of my exercise science major in college was taking a public speaking class, which present day would be like a joke. It'd just be so easy. I still get nervous when I speak to groups, even when it comes to like coaching classes. I can still get a little bit of that nervousness, but I just know I can do it now, and so it's kind of like riding a roller coaster. Like maybe makes you a little bit nervous when you drop and your stomach falls, but at the same time, it's like you kind of know you're going to be okay, and so you ride that nervousness as a thrill instead of it becoming anxious. They say anxiety or anxiousness and excitement are basically the same emotion from a hormonal perspective. Like what actually happens inside of your body on a cellular level is almost exactly the same when you feel anxiety and when you feel excitement. When you feel nervous, when you feel excitement. It's really the same thing. Let's get one more rep in. Oh, that feels good. Good. All right, we're gonna hit those ankles now. We're gonna get that pop top ankle mobility. So we're gonna sit back on the feet like this. We're gonna shift, push the toes into the ground, push back into a squat. One forearm on one knee, pressing it down to the ground, switch sides, just like this. And then we're gonna switch back and forth. We're just gonna keep rolling back and forth between those. But hormonally, like excitement and anxiety are basically the same. It's just how you perceive the situation. So next time you're feeling anxious, turn it into excitement. But anyways, I had a professor in college in that public speaking class. And she used to say, never get up in front of the class, because a lot of kids are nervous. A lot of kids are freaking out. They've never talked in public before like this, in front of a whole classroom and stuff. But she used to say, never get up in front of the class and apologize before you start. Because kids would get up and they would say, I'm sorry, I'm just really nervous. And it just gave the entire class a lens to perceive them through. Right now, every little stutter, every little misspoken word, every pause, short or long, is immediately going to get interpreted as nervousness, because you literally got up in front of the whole class and put up a lens, said, I'm sorry, I'm just really nervous right now. And we think of that as like honesty and like authenticity, but also it's shooting yourself in the foot. Because a lot of people would never notice. They would never really pay attention to a little stuttered of words. That's just what people do sometimes. They misspeak. A lot of times people would never, think anything about pauses. Some of my favorite speakers that have given me a lot of confidence in public speaking take really long pauses. A lot of times we're afraid to pause when we are nervous in front of a group because we won't know how to get back on like the next sentence. It'll just go blank. And so we don't stop. And some of my favorite speakers will take these really long pauses, to the point that sometimes I might be listening to a podcast and I'm like, wait, did it pause? And I like look at my phone, check for the pause button. I realize that they're just taking a long break to think about their next thought. One more rep, and to communicate it well. All right. Push back into that squat. We're gonna go straight into hamstrings. This is gonna be a nice little flowy flow. So we're gonna go hips up, head down, push those knees back, and we're gonna stretch out both the hamstrings. Sit back down, find that squat stance, knees outside of the elbows, big chest, and then back up. So anyways, you just shoot yourself in the foot by giving everyone a lens to perceive you through. Maybe some of the class would have noticed that you were nervous speaking, but some of the class wouldn't have picked up on any of it. They would have not have thought you were nervous at all, except for the fact that you got up and said, I'm sorry, I'm really nervous, and now bam, everything goes to nervousness in their minds as they perceive you. We know now, based on studies, that doctors who come in and say, hey, this shot is gonna hurt a little bit, versus doctors who come in and say, oh, don't worry, it's not gonna hurt at all. We think of the first doctor who says it will hurt as honest, as authentic. But studies show that the second doctor, those patients experience less pain. Like they perceive less pain by the shot than the doctor who tells them it's going to hurt before it starts. So sometimes this word authenticity, I was drawing a blank on how to pronounce that the right way. We perceive it as like honesty, but a lot of times it just sets the stage in the wrong way to let you actually deliver things well. So never get up in front of a class in a public speaking course and apologize beforehand. Just do your thing. If people want to perceive you as nervous, let them. If they don't perceive you as nervous, let them do that. That's their call. It's not up to you. It's their decision. Let's get 2 more reps in. But anyways, I say all of that because I'm sure most of you wouldn't have even thought anything of the shadow on the wall behind me. But since I talked about it at the very beginning of the video, it's like I'm Peter Pan up in here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Peter Pan. He's trying to catch a shadow the entire time. All right. Okay, we're gonna hit both shoulders and we're gonna call it a day. We got this decked out position, one hand straight out the side. We're just gonna do one position today, not all of them. We're gonna roll over and we're gonna hang out here for about a minute. So just relax, don't push it too far, just get a stretch in the shoulder, loosen that pec up. You can play around with your position a little bit to find the right stretch, but let's just hang out in that position today instead of moving up and down. And we'll go from there. About a minute here. I'll shut up and let you relax for a second. Just breathe. Good time to work on your box breathing. Breathe in, hold at the top. Breathe out, hold at the bottom. All right, let's change sides before I fall asleep. Take a little nappy nap. You probably didn't hear anything I said when I was facing the other direction because my mic is over here. But play around with that hand position a little bit. Just find a good stretch. Let's hang out there. And then let's box breathe. Let's go like a 3 count in, 3 count hold, 3 count out, 3 count hold. So breathe in for 3, hold for 3, breathe out for 3, hold for 3. Keep that going. Good, and rest. That's box breathing. It doesn't have to be 3, it could be 2 counts in, 4 counts in, 5 count, but it's the same. In, hold, out, hold. And you start to really teach yourself how to relax and how to calm down, especially with those holds at the top and the bottom. Instead of just going in, out, in, out, in, out. In, hold. And that hold gives your body a chance to actually use the oxygen that you're taking in. So often, you're not using all of the oxygen. You breathe in any minute and you're just hyperventilating. You're breathing too much. Hyper more, higher, and ventilating breathing. So hyperventilating, just breathing too much, too fast. And slow that down, breathe in, pause, breathe out, pause. That's how you really calm yourself down. It's muy bueno. Anyways, thanks for being here. Click the like button if you liked it. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Write a comment, tell me what I can do better. But thank you so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.